Ashley of Phunky Paradox. I am an acrylic traditional artist. My signature thing is my itty bitty painting collection. All my paintings are 2x3s or 2.5 by 2.5 inch paintings. I only work with originals. I do a few prints of them, but I never recreate the same painting twice. I also create dragon eggs. They're all hand painted as well. Anywhere from 150 to 200 scales per egg. So, and I do pendants and mini eggs and big eggs, and I can do almost every color under the sun.
How long does that take to...
Big eggs can take me almost 2 hours depending on the intricacy. Like my marbled one here, I hand marbled each individual scale with a toothpick. So that one took me a little bit longer, but on average, all my work takes between 2 and 3 hours.
Okay, what are these right here?
These are my original acrylic paintings.
Acrylic paintings on,
they're all the
mini
originals.
canvases?
They're all on stretched mini canvases, individually titled and signed. Like I said, I never recreate.
They're all original.
They're all originals. Everyone here is an original painting.
Well, how long have you been doing this?
I want to say about 4, almost 5 years now. It started kind of as a therapy when I was in the Army. I needed something to do that wouldn't take a whole lot of time, but I needed to get creative. It got my mind off of a lot of the issues I was going through, and I had a lot of good support with my friends.
What does it take to come up with something original for 5 years and never do it again? That's tremendous talent. Like how long?
Well, luckily
is that?
I am a big geek and I have a lot of fandoms and I like a lot of different things. Science fiction, fantasy, comics, books, movies. I mean, and sometimes I'll just look at something. I'll be like, let's put that on a canvas. Kind of like one of my pieces is
how much are these?
These are 25.
25.
They come with a little easel. This one right here.
Come with a little.
This is based off. I own the camper like this, and I was like, it would be so cool if I can get my mini vintage camper pulled by unicorns. And I thought that was the coolest idea for a painting. So just kind of came up with it.
Why mini canvases versus the big ones?
I actually have a problem with my attention span. Big canvases I can never finish. I kind of have a perfectionist issue, so I will work on a big canvas for months. So the little ones give me a sense of,
Are you making more money with this? Because I would assume more people will want to.
Oh yeah, I'm always making more. I have about 8 more conventions lined up.
Okay, so this is full time or?
No, this is part time. I work at a daycare.
I mean, are you making more money selling little canvases over the big ones?
Well, I've never really tried to sell big canvases.
Okay.
Like I said, I could never quite finish them, so I never tried to sell them. But people seem to love the tiny aspect of things.
That's what I was.
Yeah, it's just something about.
Because I see the Teen Titans. So.
I did commissions, and I'm pretty quick about it. Usually about a week to finish, under a week to finish one. Yeah.
Can you talk about the other products like the bracelets?
Yeah, my boyfriend is actually our scale mail artisan here. He works specifically with scales, but all of them have something to do with chainmail as well. Okay. So he does a lot of that jewelry. He's just getting started in his business there.
When you say scales, they're what? Like just
these are it's a type of
made out of.
A lot of this one is aluminum. It looks just like metal, but they're very, very light. But he also has titanium scales. They're a little bit more expensive. Stainless steel. It really just depends on what the individual wants and the design.
What's your connection with dragons?
We just both always love dragons. There's just something amazing about the creature. There's so much in lore and history.
Game of Thrones fan?
Yeah, we are. I actually have a little set. Yeah, big dragon fans. It just kind of tied us both in together.
My name is Dimitri Walker of Paintings by Dimitri. I do original acrylic paintings on canvas and prints of them. I've been doing work like this for about 6 years now. I've been a painter for about 40, and this year, for the very first time, I'm going to be at DragonCon.
Okay. So what's I'm dating a painter. I don't know anything about it. Called Painter's Block. She does paint party. What's acrylic paint versus regular paint? What's acrylic paint?
Well, there is watercolor, acrylic, oil, and tempera. Watercolor is difficult, highly difficult. If you mess up doing a watercolor painting, you basically got to ball it up and throw it away. Oil takes forever to dry and doing various layers to make a painting work. takes a really long time to do. A painting can take you anywhere, doing oil, anywhere from a week to a year to get all the layers, everything you want to do. Say, even something this simple, as simple as this Aretha. And oils, you'd have to wait for your black to totally dry.
Wow.
Then you have to come in with your grays and wait for that to get kind of tacky. They take forever. I do acrylics. With acrylics, this takes me 2 hours. It's dry and I can ship it about 15 minutes after I get it
acrylic
prepared.
paint made out of? It's just like what's different about it?
But it's acrylic. It's basically like a plastic polymer, which is why it dries so fast. Like acrylic, like
all these are
it's basically
paintings.
like a plastic. Yeah. Well, these are the prints. But yeah, like
Those are prints.
Like say this. Yeah, this is one of my original canvas paintings. Actually, it's better because it doesn't have plastic in it. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now acrylic doesn't have the texture that oil painting can have, unless you can add something called gel medium, and it'll give not as flat a look to the acrylics because oils is so thick. It puts a lot of texture on the painting, which is one of the reasons people like it so much.
Is it hard to paint or like draw versus you start drawing first, or you just?
I drew first for years.
When did you find out you
Portrait
had
artist,
page?
doing stuff like this.
Okay. When did you find out you had paycheck talent?
Well, honestly, when I was about 6-7 years old, my mother took a drawing I did of a deer jumping through the woods, took it to work, sold it to one of her coworkers who thought a professional artist did it. So, 43 years, so 43 years I've been selling art.
You make a living doing this?
Oh, just this. This is all I do all year long.
That's
Obviously, not a starving artist.
Okay. Do you do original characters too?
Yes. As a matter of fact, this is one of my original pieces.
Okay.
And this.
Alright. Yeah, you got final thoughts? Anybody want to start off doing this?
Stick with it. It's all about practice, practice, practice. Painting is really hard, and it will help if you have been given sort of a natural inclination toward it, but anybody can learn the technical aspects. Anybody can learn to draw.
Are you like self-taught? Did you go to a school, a university?
Self-taught. I did go back to college. I went to college in the 80s, and all I learned to do was drink.
Okay.
And then I went back to college when I turned 40.
Wow.
But by then, I had been doing it professionally for about 30 years, but I did go ahead and get my bachelor's degree. Most of the time I was in college, I was tutoring the kids who were going for painting and drawing.
Hey, I'm David Yost, the original Mighty Morphin Blue Power Ranger, and I'm here at River Region Comic-Con with my good buddy, Jamarcus of JVE-Films, and he wants to wish his girlfriend a very happy birthday. Happy birthday, Kendra.
Turning art into jewelry, and then from there it just, I just started doing more and more art.
In DC. I'm here at River Region Comic-Con in Montgomery, Alabama.
Biggest thing behind me is going to be the Terminator. It was built using EVA foam and an old hover-round chair, actually. You can see in there, so the driver can't get inside.
Is that like a time machine or?
No,
I seen Terminator, but
Yeah.
what is it? One of the robots from the?
yeah, it's one of the robots from the actual movies.
Which movie?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you. I've never even seen the Terminator movies at all. I need to, but I haven't.
You never seen none of them?
I need to. It's just one of those things. So much on my list. But
Well, how did you get involved with the business then? Did you like building crafty stuff or?
yeah, I build Halo armor mostly.
Halo.
And so that's actually what these helmets are from. Everything. These four here, I actually just those 3. Those are all from like the Halo video game series. And what we do is we start out with a 3D print. It's very similar to this right here, this material. We glue the pieces together so that way they fit, and sand them down, clean them up, mold and cast them. And that's how we end up getting something like this. Originally, this started out as a 3D print. Let me see, we got that. No, we ain't got that. Actually, no, I take it back.
Okay, where is this from?
So this is one of the Senate guards from Star Wars, I believe episode 2.
Okay.
But this is basically how we make the helmets. They're all 3D prints, as you can see here's the layers, and they're sectioned out. He just slush cast the inside to make it.
So actually, like with a 3D printer?
Yeah.
How long does that take?
Different helmets vary. Some can take about a day, some can take about a week.
And then you have to paint it after it comes out?
Well, we got to clean them up, get rid of all the seams that you see, and then once we glue them all together, we make a mold out of that, and then we make another jacket, and then we actually just slush cast them, like this one is here. This started out as a 3D print, but you can see how we just painted it up on the outside, but it's all...
What's like the price of a 3D printer? I know it's not consumer-based yet. What's
The price on a 3D printer can actually vary. They can go from anywhere between... the cheapest ones that I've found are only in the hundreds.
Wow, really?
That's the cheapest ones I've found, but the more expensive you go, you're looking at in the thousands.
So you need a bigger printer to print bigger?
Oh no, if I wanted to, and I actually wanted to buy a printer to print a whole helmet at once, that would cost me in the thousands.
Yeah.
But if I have just a normal printer, I can cut this into sections, print them out in the sections.
So that's how you normally do it, print out into...
So that's just how it all comes out. Once we have all the 3D pieces, make a mold out of it. This is the same exact way. Okay. It started out as nothing more than a 3D print. We molded all the pieces, and then once we take our 2-part resin and we mix that in there, let it harden, and then that's where we get all of this from.
So you're a big video game fan, Halo fan?
Oh yeah. I loved Halo for the longest time whenever I was young.
I ain't never played a Star Wars video game. Are they any good? Or?
The original Battlefront for the PC was actually very good. I haven't played any of the newer Star Wars games. Something that me and my sister would argue about every single time me and her got together to play video games was Lego Star Wars. And we would argue constantly, but I love that game. I love doing all of it.
Okay. Anybody got any final thoughts? Anybody want to get started in building or crafting?
You're gonna fail a lot.
Wow.
That's a thing, but you're just gonna have to accept that. That's one thing. You need to learn from your failures before you can get better. I started out as a piece of crap who ruined about $80 worth of foam trying to build some Halo armor. Now I can pop out $800 suits in about 8 days.
Hi, my name is Melissa Mullins, and I own Autism Awareness R4AU. We do it in honor of my daughter that is autistic. She's known as the Autistic Jedi. I go to different conventions and I take all my autism awareness items and I fundraise. And I also pass out all kinds of information on special needs, special education, advocacy, anything that you need. I can look up research for you. It's really just to educate the community about autism and about the special needs kids.
Why did you combine it with the Jedi concept? Why?
Because my daughter is autistic,
okay.
And she loves Star Wars. So we tried to find something that we could incorporate her in to also help her communication skills. So that's how we come up with the Autistic Jedi. Yeah. Yeah.
How old is your daughter? Where is she?
She's 16. She is here.
She is here.
She's over there playing video games.
Okay.
It's really improved her social skills, her confidence to be able to go up to somebody and say, hey, how are you doing? Okay. 2 years ago, she would be right up under me.
So define what autism really is, because everybody can be socially awkward, even me with the camera.
Autism is a spectrum. That's why they call it autism spectrum disorder.
Okay.
You have high functioning, some people call it Asperger's, then you have lower functioning. Your lower functioning is going to come where you're nonverbal. Social awkwardness, you'll have sensory issues, and then there's so many different disorders that falls under autism.
What's been the hardest part for you as a parent who's communicating this?
Making people understand that just because she has autism does not mean that she's not a kind person, does not mean that...
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's
I just hear people with autism are like really bad at average stuff and like really phenomenal at one thing. Is that like a miss?
They usually excel in one big area.
Okay.
Not, they're good at all different kinds of stuff. Like for instance, my daughter, she does very well in school, but her biggest accomplishment is math, art, video games, something that's concrete, it's either black or white. There is no in between. She doesn't do well with comprehension. Sometimes you have to break it down for her. Break it down into smaller steps, things like that.
Okay. Well, I interrupted you earlier. What was your hardest part as a parent?
Being able to, to make people understand that just because she's autistic does not mean she's not caring, does not mean that she does not hear everything that goes on around her, because she does. She may not acknowledge you, okay, but she understands. She was nonverbal until she was 6. She didn't speak a word. When she started kindergarten and she started being around other kids, hearing other kids and seeing other kids do things, she finally started talking. We did some therapy. We did occupational therapy. We did ABA therapy. We did speech therapy. We did the whole 9 yards. And she, she gradually came around. Now she does still have autistic tendencies, but not as bad as she was.
I mean, thank you. Maybe I can talk to her. I don't know. I got sickle cells, whole different things.
Yeah.
So that's a real.
But a lot of times when you have autism, you always have, I shouldn't say always. 8 times out of 10, you're going to have a medical diagnosis along with it. Normally, most of them do.
Is there any more final thoughts you want to leave?
You can always look us up on our Facebook page. It's Autism Awareness R4AU is the Facebook page. I try to post just about every day with different educational tools and websites and stuff like that.
Just tell me when.
You have to go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Hi, so I'm dressed as Midnight from the anime My Hero Academia.
Is this your first time doing Comic-Con?
No, I've gone to several. I've been going to them for a couple years.
Do you always go dress as different characters?
Recently, yeah. Like I've kind of like dabbled in cosplay like a couple years ago, but I've really gotten serious about it in the past year. So yeah, I almost always cosplay.
Okay, who would you dress as again?
Midnight from My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia. I don't think I've seen that one yet. What's so great about it?
Everyone, don't forget to check out the convention store here at the front. And if you're interested in having dinner with Baby and Niciesa, check out at the convention store.
So My Hero Academia is about what? People who go to school to learn how to be heroes. That's my basic concept.
So like the anime, the world is based in, most people have a quirk.
Okay.
And because of a lot of people have this quirk, like 80% of the population in that world do, and a lot of them become heroes because there are villains in that role too. And the main
just pre-exist. That's the whole concept. They just pre-exist, go to school, and learn how to be a superhero.
So some do, some don't, because like their quirk isn't like, because the quirk can be like anything. Some of it's just like stretchy fingers, or some of it's like running really fast. And like the main character Deku, he's born quirkless. He doesn't have a quirk, but he always really wanted to be a superhero. And then he meets the #1 hero, and he's actually able to transfer his power to him. So it's like him going to school and learning how to be a hero with his new quirk that he got.
A quirk is like what, like the X Factor is what you would call.
Yeah.
Like they chill something.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like X-Men, kind of like how they're, kind of like mutants.
Yeah. Kind
of like that. But instead of like instead of being the minority, like the people that have quirks are the majority.
If you went to the school to learn how to be a hero, which power would you want to learn?
What? I think the quirk I would like to have would probably be trying to think. I really like Todoroki's, which he has fire and ice. So I think I would like, yeah. So that would be really cool.
You got any advice for anybody want to get into cosplay?
Start slow. Like, it can be very overwhelming because I think a lot of, like, especially the top cosplayers and stuff, like, there's a lot of, like, skills you have to master to, like, the top, you know, cosplayers have a lot of skills they've mastered. So I would try not to get too overwhelmed. Start small. Don't, like, you know, be like, oh, I want to be, you know, whoever the top what is.
Did you make this costume?
I made some of it I bought. Like this and stuff I made. This corset I didn't make. This was like, I like bought part of it, but then I added more of these to it. So it's like kind of like a mishmash of like stuff I bought, stuff I like altered, stuff I made from scratch.
How do people find you if they want to get in?
I have an Instagram account. It's mystical_kitten. And yeah, so that's like my main social media.
Right?
1, 2, 3, go.
Sean McDonald, and I'm cosplaying Spider-Punk with the guitar and everything.
So is this like a British rock star version of Spider-Man, or what?
No, he's not. I don't think he's British. I know he's a punk version. I know in the Spider-Verse, his universe, basically, music is outlawed, so he's a rebel, basically. He's a resistance fighter.
Why is music outlawed in the Spider-Man comic?
That's just that universe. You know, there's so many different weird universes.
And they don't ever come up with an explanation as to why music is.
I guess I haven't done my research on it yet.
Can he actually play the guitar, his character? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
So is the guitar a weapon, or is it just kind of a thing he does?
I think it's just part of what he does to rile up the people and get the people on his side, basically. You know, he amps them up.
Why are you this character versus original Peter Parker, 616?
Because this one is probably the coolest of all Spider-Man, I think.
Okay. And you see the...
I got the Sam Raimi version of the suit before, and I put it on, and I wore it, and I'm like, well, this is okay, but I need some bling. I need some things that are going to be cool, some props. I need something that's going to make me look sick, not just, hey, I just got spandex on.
And you seen the movie?
Oh man, Spider-Verse is awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I wore this to go see it.
Did you really?
I wore it, and my daughter who's over here, she wore Miles Morales, and
did you wear the whole costume in the theater?
Oh yeah. Wow. And then my other daughter wore Spider-Gwen.
Where y'all from?
Auburn, Alabama.
Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah, and
y'all the only ones dressed as Spider-Man?
We were the only four in the whole theater.
The whole theater dressed up.
There was four of us. We were each a different Spider-Man. Yeah.
So why are you such a Spider-Man fan? Like, what is it?
Spider-Man. Because he's a good guy. He's just. I'm not into like anti-heroes that are all. I mean, they're underdogs. Yeah, they're underdogs. My daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, they're underdogs, and so.
You just into the whole superhero culture, or Spider-Man?
Oh no, I'm a big Superman fan first.
Wow, Superman.
Yeah. Okay. I got. You can't see it under here, but I've got tattoos. I got Superman, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, all up my arm. But
Marvel or DC then? Like,
both.
Superman beat Spider-Man, because I know they did a crossover.
According to Stan Lee, they never beat each other. They never. There's never a definitive hero that has beat another hero. They just don't do it because they realize fans on both sides would get upset either way.
How do you feel about the Venom movie?
That came out a lot better than I thought it would.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was. The trailers were okay, but the actual movie itself was fun.
You say Venom is actually a hero, you say not into anti-heroes, like.
That is true. He is an anti-hero, but I'm working on the cosplay for that.
For Venom next year.
Next year or the end of this year, if I can pull it off.
Do you play music in real life?
Nah.
Nothing. You got any type of hidden talents?
Hidden talents. I'm actually a cartographer for Wizard of the Coast and Paizo, which Pathfinder, which they do D&D.
You're what?
A cartographer. I make maps.
make maps.
Like they're all playing D&D up there right now, and they need maps to figure out where people are and how to play. I make those maps.
For a video game or?
No, for the ones where they're sitting up there rolling dice.
Okay, so it's a board game.
It's in the books. Yeah, it's in the books basically.
But not actual like United States real.
No, it's always just fantasy type stuff, Lord of the Rings type stuff.
You think that the Marvel world is accurate? Like, why, as far as you've been a map maker, why are all the heroes in New York? Like, why would they not be scattered?
They are. The Flash. Well, I'm thinking of DC.
Well, it says all the Marvel heroes are in New York. As a map maker, is that realistic?
Oh, I'm sure there's other heroes in other places. They just don't talk about them as much.
Okay.
They just focused on those there in New York.